Hello and welcome to Olga's Primary Maths. In this video we're going to learn or revise how to add and subtract fractions. Well, the first thing you need to know is that you can only add or subtract fractions if they have the same denominator. So you can only add them or subtract them if the bottom number, if the denominator is the same. So what we do, we'll leave our denominator as it is, and we're just adding the numerators. So 2 add 1 is 3. 2/5 add 1/5 is 3/5. 2 9s add 2 9s. We leave our denominator the same. 5 add 2 is 7. So 7 9s. If our denominator is not the same, we can't add the fractions straight away. The first thing we need to do, we need to make that denominator into the same denominator. And we do it by looking for lowest common multiple. Lowest common multiple is the same answer in the 4 times tables and in the 5th times tables. So let's have a look how we do that. So 3/4 add 2/5. We can't add this fraction straight away because their denominator is not the same. We can only add or subtract fractions if their denominator is the same. So let's make their denominator into the same. What's the lowest common multiple between 4 and 5? What is the same answer in the 4 times table and the 5 times table? Oh, I know, it's 20. So my denominator is going to be 20. I'm going to turn my quarters into 20th and my 5th into 20th. How do I turn 4 into 20 by multiplying? I multiply my 4 by 5. But the rule is, whatever I do to my denominator, I need to do the same to my numerator. So I multiplied my denominator by 5. I need to do the same to my numerator. Whatever you do to the bottom of the fraction, you need to do the same to the top. So now it's not 3/4 anymore. It's 15/20. And 3/4 is the same as 15/20. They're equivalent fractions, just expressed differently. Now, how do we turn our 5th into 20th? We multiply 5 by 4. So our denominator now is 20. And whatever we did to our denominator, we need to do exactly the same to our numerator. So we also multiply our numerator by 4. So now it's not 2/5, it's 8/20. Can we add these fractions now? Yes, we can, because they have the same denominators. So we'll leave our denominator the same, which is 20. And then we do 15 add 8, which is 23. So 3/4 add 2/5 is 23/20. This is our improper fraction. Let's turn this improper fraction into a mixed number. We learned that before. I've got a video about it. So how many 20s can you fit in 23? 1. And what's left over? 3. And the denominator stays the same. So 23/20 is the same as 1 and 3/20. 4/7 add 5/14. Right, can we add this fraction straight away? No, we can't, because they have different denominators. We can only add or subtract fractions if they have the same denominator. Well, let's make this denominator into the same. What's the lowest common multiple of these two numbers? What's the relationship between these two numbers? Can we make 7 into 14? Yes, we can by multiplying 7 by 2. And we can leave 14 as it is. We don't need to do anything with our 14. So let's leave this fraction as it is, 5/14. And let's turn 7 into 14. How do we do that? We multiply 7 by 2. Whatever we've done to our denominator, we need to do the same to our numerator. Otherwise, the fraction won't be equivalent. So 4/7 is the same as 8/14. Can we add these fractions now? Yes, we can, because they have the same denominator. So we'll leave the denominator as it is, and we add our numerators. 8 add 5 is 13. So 4/7 add 5/14 is the same as 13/14. Let's have a subtraction now, applying the same principle. So can we take away this fraction straight away? Can we subtract them straight away? No, we can't, because the denominators are different. So we can only subtract these fractions when the denominators are the same. So let's make this denominator into the same denominator. So what's the lowest common multiple between these two numbers, 6 and 8? Well, sometimes children just want to multiply them. So 6 by 8 and 8 by 6. But the number might be too high. What's the lowest common multiple? What's the same answer in the 6 times table and in the 8 times table? Well, let's have a look. Let's count in 6's first. 6, 12, 18, 24. Let's just stop there. Now let's count in 8's. 8, 16, 24. Ooh, that's the lowest common multiple. So let's turn both of these fractions into 24th. They're going to be, the denominator is going to be 24. Well, how do we turn 6 into 24? By multiplying. We multiply 6 by 4. Whatever we've done with our denominator, we need to do the same to our numerator. So we need to multiply our numerator by 4 as well. So now it's not 5 6's, it's 20 24th. Okay, how do we turn 8 into 24? We times 8, we multiply 8 by 3. Whatever we do to our denominator, we need to do the same to our numerator. So it's not 3/8 anymore, it's 9 24th. Can we subtract these fractions now? Yes, we can, because they have the same denominators. So we'll leave our denominator as it is, 24, and then we do 20, take away 9, which is 11. So 5 6's, take away 3/8 is 11 24th. So it's very important to remember that you can only add or subtract fractions if they have the same denominators. If the denominators are not the same, make them into the same by finding lowest common multiple. And remember, whatever you do to the bottom of your fraction, you need to do exactly the same operation to the top of your fraction, so the fractions stay equivalent. So they're worth the same, so they're the same value. Let's have an addition with whole numbers as well. If you have whole numbers, what you could do, you could just add whole numbers first. So what's 3 add 5? Well, I know that 3 add 5 is 8. Well, let's leave it there for now. Now let's add our fractions. Can we add our fractions straight away? No, we can't, because they don't have the same denominators. Well, let's make those denominators into the same. What's the lowest common multiple between 3 and 6? It's 6. So we'll leave this fraction as it is, because it already has denominator 6. Let's turn 3 into 6 by multiplying 3 by 2. Whatever we've done to our denominator, we need to do the same to our numerator. Okay, so it's not 1/3 anymore, it's 2 6s. So we have 2 6s there. And then we are adding 7 6s. And we are going to get 9 6s. So let's look at this number, 8 and 9 6s. Well, 9 6s are more than a whole, because I know that 9 6s is 1 and 3 6s. Let me show you. 9 6s is the same as 1, because you can fit 1 6 into 9 and 3 6s left over 3. You can watch my video about how to turn improper fractions into mixed numbers if you're not sure how to do that. So we also have 8 as a whole. So we have 8, then we have 1 and 3 6s. So what are we going to get? 9 and 3 6s. What else can we do to our 3 6s? Oh, we can simplify them. 3 6s is the same as a half, because you can divide both numbers by 3, and you're going to get 9 and a half. Don't forget, quite often when children simplify this bit, they forget to write the whole as well. Don't forget to write your whole. Let's work this subtraction out. So we've got a whole number and a fraction, mixed number, take away a fraction. Well, can we take these numbers away straight away? No, we can't, because the denominators are different. Now let's make the denominators into the same. The lowest common multiple is going to be 15. So let's leave this fraction as it is. And let's turn our fifth into 15 by multiplying it by 3. Whatever we've done to our denominator, we need to do to our numerator. So it's not 2/5 anymore. It's 3. We're still leaving the whole number the same. And 6 15ths. Take away 14 15ths. Can we subtract these numbers now? Yes, we can, because they have the same denominators. However, can we take 14 away from 6? Oh no, we can't, because there's not enough. So what we need to do, we need to turn this mixed number into improper fraction first. And I have a video on that. If you don't know how to do it, watch it. But I'm going to remind you how to do it. So we start with 15. We multiply it by the whole number. And then whatever we get, we add our numerator onto it. So 15 times 3 is 45. Yeah, 45. And you add 6 onto it, and you're going to get 51. So 51 15ths, take away 14 15th. Can we do this subtraction now? Yes, we can. We're leaving our denominator as it is, which is 15. Now, if you can't do 51 take away 14 in your head, just work it out as a column subtraction on the side like this. Right. I can't do that now. So 11 take away 4 is 7. 4 take away 1 is 3. 37 15ths. So I got 37 15ths. You can leave it as it is. Or, because it's an improper fraction, it's top heavy, you can turn this into a mixed number. How many 15ths are there in 37? Well, I can fit in 2 15ths because I know that 15 times 2 is 30. Let's just cross this out so it's not distracting us. And how many left over? 7 left over. And the denominator stays the same. So 37 15ths is the same as 2 and 7 15ths. So when you have a subtraction, sometimes there might not be enough to take away. In this case, you will have to turn your mixed number into improper fraction. Then you will be able to do a subtraction. Your answer can either stay as an improper fraction, or you could turn it into a mixed number. But in your answer box, in your SATs paper, put just one of them. Now, as a challenge, work out these calculations, 4 calculations that I've given you. Remember that you can only add or subtract fractions when they have the same denominator. If that denominator is not the same, make it into the same by finding the lowest common multiple. If you have to turn your mixed number into improper fraction first because there's not enough to take away, do that as well. Good luck. I hope it was helpful for you.